Hey there guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Zemo, the Dad in DPS, and as you may have gathered from the title of the video and the fact you've clicked on this, we are in for another weapon showcase in the good, the scrap, and the scrip. Now, before we get into the video, don't forget to leave a like, a comment, and subscribe, and get prepared for some fireworks. Uh-oh. I may have made a boom boom. Today's weapon is a Juggernaught's Last Shot +1 perception auto grenade launcher. Now, the 1 perception doesn't really matter all that much. It could have been better. I mean, we could have had the VATS crits fill faster type thing, or just about anything really. The last effect doesn't matter. The main effects I want to test is Juggernaughts and the Last Shot. Now, this weapon could be very potentially dangerous on myself. Hence why I kind of want to test if Juggernaughts is viable with this type of weapon. On top of that, Last Shot, this thing does incredible damage. So if you get a Last Shot with this and a crit at the same time, thing's gonna wreck house. At least I think it does. We'll definitely get to see what's gonna happen, but should be an entertaining weapon to try and use. So, let's get on with the video. So, with any explosive weapon, you should realistically judge it based on how much damage it will do to a large group of enemies. Because the reality is, if you're using this thing against one target, it's really not the primary use of it. That being said, I will be using it against some big one targets, but that's mainly just for testing purposes. So yeah, let's see how it does against all these ghouls. Now, the good thing is, no, I'm not going to be able to jump up there, am I? We'll get on top of a roof, and then we'll see how much damage it's doing per shot on all the enemies. So we can just fire it down. You see, it's taken out the ghouls pretty much in one hit. There was a legendary. It's doing about 250. Depends on the enemy, really. You are definitely safer using this weapon at range rather than close up, because the biggest problem you've got with this weapon is that enemies are going to be able to kick your ass if you are too close. Top of that, the effect is going to be lessened if you allow enemies to get close and hit you, and that was a very strange drop to get during this. But as you can see, 354, and that's with adrenaline activating. So overall, the weapon is very usable against large groups of enemies, and I definitely think you're going to get a kick out of it if you were using it against like ghouls or farming ghouls during events like Radiation Rumble. It's going to tear things apart. So far so good. So as usual, we'll just have a little brief glance at the build. Now, take into mind that this build is a combination build, and some of these perks are on here just because of the build it is. The main important factors here are Demolition Expert, Stabilized, and One Gun Army, Bloodied Mess. These are the things that... oh, and Adrenaline. These are the perks that are going to give this thing its damage. So overall, yeah, that's all that's really important. We're back once again against the man, the myth, the legend, the Stig. I mean, Jeff. We're gonna blow his face off. Well, more accurately, his legs off, and we'll see how this gun does against him. And so far, it's not amazing, I'll be honest. He's kinda like he's crippled, but he's not really dying quickly. It's using a lot of ammo up. I'm actually kind of unimpressed how it is against Jeff. But this weapon is not for him, let's be honest. It's not for taking out big enemies. But it still does it. Still does it relatively quickly. And we're back once again with the Queen. Now, this weapon, I kind of want to test it at its full capacity, which is as an explosive weapon against the Queen. And the problem you have, first off, is that she's a big hulking pain in the arse. All the little enemies around her are kind of why I'm not opting to use this in a situation where I'm safer, I suppose the better way to put it. And I'm sort of just trying my best to cripple something. It's really not doing as well as I would have hoped against her. And you're seeing that I'm obviously killing all the little enemies, but I'm also damaging myself because I'm in power armor, and she is getting awfully close. So in instances where you're having to take on the enemy up close, this gun just doesn't quite do what you want it to do. But at the same time, I'm killing her and there's no real problem with it. We defeated all the enemies that were around her as well, which I deliberately kept alive for that reason, just to show that if you're going to use this weapon, you're going to be able to kill stuff. But it's going to be expensive against enemies like this because you're just not going to do enough damage in quick succession to take her out quickly. So as usual with an explosive weapon of this type, you're really wanting to focus on the trash mobs, not the big bosses. So, how does this weapon compare into daily ops? Well, as you can see, it one-shots most enemies. And then when you calculate the fact that you are getting at least double the amount of ammo back, if you land a direct hit, that is, you're going to be able to farm ammo with this thing quite easily. The advantage of it is, yeah, it will kill most enemies. The best thing about it as well is that if you are one-shotting enemies, and in some cases you unfortunately won't because of the janky way this game works sometimes, is that you are going to destroy this weapon half the amount that my usual grenade launcher, which is a 2-shot. Because the 2-shot has 2 explosions, this one only has 1. I'm not destroying my weapon anywhere near as quick, especially when it's 2 hits per enemy. Now don't get me wrong, if I don't one-shot the enemies, then it's probably going to even out to about the same, but that really depends on me keeping my health up. And as you can see, this stupid guy won't get away from me, but you are getting back basically double your ammo. I think it's recently been nerfed, the amount of ammo you get for grenade launchers in here, because judging by what I'm seeing, I'm only getting 2 back, period. So that is a slight nerf that they've done. Oh no, never mind, I've got 4 there. So there is the advantage that you are getting more ammo back consistently, and that just makes it usable in a multitude of ways. You're going to kill a load of enemies really quickly, and you're just going to get a load of ammo back. As I said, I'm not losing any ammo at this stage. I've only gained ammo. Don't get me wrong, I've not gained as much ammo as I used to, so I definitely think there's been a slight nerf to this, but you can't really complain when you're getting most of your ammo back, and at the end I am going to get a lump sum of ammo as well, which is always a good thing. But against enemies that are coming at you in melee range, you are going to have a little bit of your own damage back on you, so you need to be careful with that. So let's see what this baby does to the big bad enemy, if I can get to him quick enough before everybody else kills him. If I don't, I don't. I think I've kind of shown what this weapon can do in terms of damage output. Yeah, no, they got him first. Oh well. That is what it is. But overall, definitely a good weapon for daily ops. I would recommend heavily that you use it if you don't have one, or rather if you do have one. But yeah. Now one thing before the end of the video is I'd like to say 2-shot grenade launchers are always going to be better. Straight up a fact. But this one, it definitely does something, and it's not a bad weapon at all. Better than I assumed it would be, but it's just not the best. Let's be honest. I'm just putting it out there. Now, before we finish, let's thank our YouTube members, which are Twice Baked Spuds, Golty, Wyatt Blackburn, Wallers, me, Mr. Red, Diofane Gaming, Faded Druid, Colin G, Gary McKnight, Chris K, Brian RMC, Peggy McKnight, Metal Doom, Mutasbo, and Dragon God Slayer X. Big thanks to all you guys, we can't do this without you. If you'd like to become a YouTube member, click the join link down below, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. So we'll catch you all next time in the Wasteland.